Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm ProbablyAwake. Today I want to talk about how I made a specific growl in the drop. We'll go through what I did to make this sound, what I did in terms of layering, and then the kind of arrangement in the drop. So I'm going to go ahead and play the kind of pre-intro and then a little part of the drop. So I'll go ahead and loop this and let's hear it. So what we are going to be looking at is this sound right here, which is, I ended up re-sampling it and then layering it and then recording that and processing that. So this is the original sound that it came through. And I'll go ahead and mute the effects as well so you can hear what it sounds like without it. We have a lot going on here. All right, I believe that's everything. All right, so this is what the sound sounds like regularly. There we go. So this is what the sound sounded like in the first place. That doesn't really sound too hot. I actually don't know how I continued working on this with it sounding like that, because that doesn't sound good at all. So that's what I'm working with. And then I added my regular rack for bass processing, and then it turned into that, or this. Added some overdrive to get the top end back. Adding kind of just some white noise, and then I took out this frequency, the 6,000 or 6 kilohertz range, because that was hurting my ears. Camel Crusher. This fat rack. I was like, all right, that sounds kind of cool if we add the sub in here. It sounds cool. It sounds pretty full, and I was like, you know what? This does sound really similar to like a Zomboid growl or something along that. So I was looking through my splice and I had downloaded this song or this sample from the mode step, and I'm using the same bass processing. And without the processing, it sounds like this. With the processing, just took out some of the higher end and then layered it. So we're working with this. And then I sampled that, resampled that, and I'll go ahead and turn off the effects for this final chain here, which actually we got a lot going on here. So kind of what we looked on, and then I'm going to go ahead and redo everything here. So we got some EQ, kind of taking out that 6,000-ish range here. We got about 5.4 kilohertz. And then taking out with the Munson EQ, taking out some of those harsh frequencies, another vocoder with the modulator on here. Camel Crusher again, another vocoder, OTT on top of that to kind of bring out the sound again. That way it doesn't sound so crushed. EQ again, that this is 10,000 kilohertz, and then we got a saturator to bring the sound back up to the right volume. And then we are left with this. So if I take all of those off with it, with the sub. So I think that ended up pretty cool. So let's go back to the original preset, because I think I flew through this a little bit. This is what the preset is looking like. So we're using this damaged preset. I forget which table this is in, but I kind of just went through them with some bright white noise, and then the sub doesn't really matter. However, the sub is modulating the sound a little bit in post-processing. Probably not a lot, but it is a little bit. And then this macro is just messing with, I believe, the cutoff of the comb filter and just making it vary a little bit throughout the drop, but nothing really too much going on here. The unison maybe is messing around with it. I didn't mess with the second oscillator. And then for the effects, we have the hyperdimension effect rack kind of going here. I just messed around with the settings, distortion. I love this diode preset. It's really good. It makes a lot of sounds sound a lot more harsh, which is good in this case, I feel like. And then a little bit of EQ, and that's getting modulated, as well as an all-pass filter, and then the OTT, of course, on there. So not too much going on. If you want to copy this, go ahead. Otherwise, it's going to come out in a preset pack later, a little bit down the line when I have some more. But that's about it for the context. And then nothing too special going on in terms of group processing, just the EQ to get out the very low end where the sub is, and then some compression and a little alter boy to modulate the pitch up throughout the thing, throughout the drop. So Not too much going on here. It is just a lot of resampling, which I think is really important to do. I'll probably actually, now that I'm thinking about it, throw on some Portal and see how that sounds and go from there. This is just a background noise that I layered with it. But yeah, so if this is helpful, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.